Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and welcome to episode 3 in our STYX series. Cretin is here. We are talking Equinox and Crystal Ball. So get ready. We want to hear from you in the chat. We are live, and it's a Tuesday. Let's do it.
Grant is changing the world one track at a time on Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Holy crap, people. It is Tuesday, and look who's here. Davey Cretin.
Hello,
and guess what we're talking about? Well, you probably already figured it out because you saw the thumbnail. So we are talking STYX. Davey, nice to see you. I already know that you feel like crap because you're sick.
Unfortunately, but I'm here. I'm going to power through it.
He's going to power through it, and we're going to do this show. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We only have 18 people. I can deal with that so far. Man, Davey, on Sunday for the KISS show, we had 106 people tuned into that. God dang. It's been quite a weekend, so I must say that was a good thing. So how's everything going with you other than you being sick?
Good. I'm ready to talk some STYX. I even have my BGO imports of Equinox from 75 and Crystal Ball from 76.
All right, cool. So yes, if you've been following this series, this is episode number 3. We've already went through the wood and nickel period. We've now entered the A&M period. Last album with John Kurlewski. Davey, do you want to start us off? How do you want to do it today?
Sure. I'll start off. I do want to say I was promoting this show, or the last show, on a STYX fan page on Facebook, and someone said that I mispronounced John Kurlewski's name. It's actually John Kurlewski. I always thought it was Kurlewski, so I think it's Kurlewski.
I think I just said Kurlewski.
I think I pronounced it wrong the last couple of shows, so I apologize to anyone out there. I could have sworn years ago when the band were on Rockline and they spoke about him that JY said Kurlewski, but it's such an old memory. I guess I was wrong. It's Kurlewski.
It's all right. You know what? No one got hurt, so I think we're okay. So John Kurlewski. Anyway, this is the last record with John. John does some great stuff on this record. We will talk about it. So I'm just curious. I don't even know if we've even covered this in a show yet. But how did you come to be a STYX fan? We did have a comment in the chat already that I think it was from Young Logan. Was it from Young Logan? Let me see. I have to go back because I have not looked at the chat yet. But I believe he mentioned that you are quite the STYX fan. How did you become a STYX fan? What was like the first album you got into? I'm just curious. I don't think we ever talked about it, Davey.
Okay, I'll tell you. In 1977, after listening to AM radio with my parents for years, I discovered the FM band, which I didn't know existed. And I found the 2 rock and roll stations in New York. WNEW-FM, they're still there, and WPLJ, long gone for 40 years now and long lamented. And I heard this song that I was blown away by called Come Sail Away by STYX from the Grand Illusion. So in 77, and that's their 7th album, we'll talk about that on the next show, came out 77, and that's what broke the band big in America, more than Lady did a few years before. Mm-hmm. So that was the first song I heard. Then I heard Fooling Yourself. And at the end of the year, when Billy Joel released The Stranger, I went out and purchased on vinyl The Grand Illusion and The Stranger. Those are my first 2 purchases on my own with my paper route money.
Damn. Yeah, see, my whole first gateway was my art teacher. God, was it 6th or 7th grade? I can't remember, but she was playing Grand Illusion in art class while we were doing our project. And she was talking about the album cover and, you know, how it's kind of surreal and everything. But that was my gateway drug. And then from there, I just went crazy. And Equinox, the first album we're talking about today, was probably one of my first purchases that I picked up.
Same here. After Grand Illusion, I went backwards.
Yeah. And I don't remember when I got Crystal Ball. I don't know. But it all started the Grand Illusion, and I think I did go backwards like you. So, anyway, first record for A&M, released December of 75. How do you look at this record, first of all, Davey, compared to what came before with the wood and nickel period, and what's coming up in the A&M period.
It's way better produced. The sound is great on here. And Dennis DeYoung really comes into his own and sort of takes control of the band and starts steering them into a progressive rock direction. His keyboards on this record are great, and he has a hand in almost every song, except for Midnight Ride, basically.
Yeah, I wonder what was the pivotal moment. Well, it must have been because Lady ended up being a hit.
It gave him the confidence.
Yeah, that must have been it because, if you look at Man of Miracles, I mean, it's still really a JY record to me. There's a lot more Dennis on there, but I think
it's half and half.
Yeah. So here, it really does seem like there's a transition to me, even though there's still prog elements here.
Definitely.
Light Up start. See, there is nothing about this record I can complain about. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be a quick show because I don't know what I'm going to complain about. This is like one of my first records when I was a kid, and I like all of it. I don't know. Go ahead. What's your thoughts on the tracks and what's your particular favorite song? Go ahead, Davey. Just
to mention
about a little bit.
Just to mention the lineup: Dennis DeYoung, vocals, keyboards, and synths; JY on vocals and electric guitar; John Kuralewski on acoustic and electric guitars and synths; Chuck Panazzo on bass, backing vocals on Sweet Madam Blue, and his twin brother John Panazzo on drums and percussion. This is produced by STYX, engineered by Barry Mraz, who we've spoken about before, and it was recorded at Paragon Studios in Chicago. It reached number 58 in the U.S. It was certified gold, 500,000 copies sold, August 25th, 1977. In Canada, it reached number 14. It did better. And it was certified platinum, 100,000 sales in Canada.
So it did a lot better. I'm always wondering, because we talked a little bit about production before. If Barry's back engineering it, I don't know what. It's really basically the same as what they did with Man of Miracles. The only thing I can gather is that maybe A&M pumped more money into them and they were able to
definitely
spend more time on the record. I don't know.
I think so. I think it sounds better. It's brighter. It's bolder. Everything sounds louder. There's not that little bit of surface noise you sometimes hear on the wooden nickel stuff. I think it's better produced.
Well, I think the wood nickel stuff was crap vinyl. Yeah.
That's probably true.
What that was. Marlon is in the chat, and he says that Equinox is phenomenal. Nice. And I've never really heard Marlon praise anything before, so I'm kind of a bit taken by that. So.
Well, no saxophone. Come on.
I know. What can I say? Light Up's great. Lorelei's great. Mother Dear, I think, is one of John Kuralewski's best songs. That is total prog.
Oh, yeah.
Lonely Child's phenomenal. We've got JY doing Midnight Ride, which is one of his best rockers. But I think Man of Miracles might be no. There's a lot of great JY stuff on the wood nickel stuff. And I think Midnight Ride just fits right in. But he has taken a bit more of a back seat on this record. Born for Adventure, great. Prelude 12. And of course, I think, the crowning achievement on this record is probably Sweet Madam Blue.
Yes.
The guitars on here are blaring. In fact, when that whole second part kicks in with the real heavy guitar, that has to be some of my favorite guitar parts ever recorded, I'd say.
Nice.
This record didn't get all that great of reviews back in the day. A lot of reviews just pointed out it just kind of serves as a bridge between the earlier period and the later period, and I think it really does. Not quite as commercial as what's going to come, but I do think it fits really well in between that wood nickel period and the A&M period before Tommy gets on there.
Definitely.
I don't know. Do you have anything more to add? This is going to be a quick show, people.
Well, I have notes on every song that I wrote.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
To point out some of the high points. We start out with Light Up, vocals Dennis DeYoung. He wrote it. It's an ode to Mary Jane. Let's just say that. A very proggy intro leads into the main melody. right before the 1 minute mark. And the Panazzo twins are playing an almost funky reggae type groove. So it's very different than anything on the Wooden Nickel albums. And once again, JY's voice pops out through the triad vocal harmonies on the chorus. Dennis has some cool and quirky keyboards throughout the song. And I love Chuck's 5-note walking bass line at the 3 minute mark. It sounds like Chris Squire, boom, 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 boom. Right there, that's like the high point of the song.
But that's about it, because this is where his bass parts start to get a little bit less intricate. When Davey and I were talking about this before, a lot of that Wooden Nickel stuff, you could tell that Chuck was really influenced by Chris Squire, because a lot of that stuff, he nails that Chris Squire sound, and he's doing a lot of intricate bass parts. As we keep going down into the A&M catalog, he takes more of a back seat.
But that great 5-note walking bass line that he does, I love that part of the song. And for the first time listening in earbuds today, as I was making my notes, I heard someone saying something in the background at the end of Light Up. So I rewound it a little, and someone is saying, I think, smoke it up over and over for like the last 45 seconds. And I never caught that before.
Well, it's a drug song, I think.
Yep. This was a single, the second single. It had no chart action, though, in America or Canada, and it was backed with Born for Adventure. Moving on to the second song, which was the first single, Lorelei, written by Dennis and JY, vocals by Dennis. It's a perfect single length, 3:23. And this reached number 27 on the Billboard charts, so it was their second highest charting single after the re-release of Lady. Peaked in April 76, reached number 6 in Canada for 2 weeks, May 8th and May 15th of 76. And it ended up being number 77 on the year-end Canadian RPM chart, back with Midnight Ride. And once again, Dennis starts this off with a synthy sound, and then it's a power rock song with very beefy guitars from JY and JC. I love the vocal breakdown 2.5 minutes in. It's a really catchy, quick, up-tempo rock song. Great song.
Yep.
Moving on, Mother Dear, 5.5 minutes, co-written by John Kuralewski and Dennis. They both sing lead on this, and they're both singing in their upper registers, almost falsetto. And this is perhaps one of the proggiest songs on what I think is maybe their proggiest album, This So Grand Illusion. And the instrumental interlude from the 2 to 3 minute mark, that is prog. That proves that STYX is a prog band, although on Prog Archives, a great website, they call STYX prog related.
Is that the same thing as prog adjacent? I'm thinking it is.
Yeah, very similar. Same thing, I would say.
I would say.
And this instrumental section sounds great in headphones. And on the verses, I love Dennis DeYoung's piano plinking and his little synth runs. Great stuff on there. It's more proggy goodness for the last 50 seconds. Excellent deep track, Mother Dear. Highly recommended. Last song on side 1, Lonely Child, written by Dennis, just under 4 minutes, vocals by Dennis. I'm surprised this wasn't a single, but back in the mid-70s, I guess they weren't releasing 3 and 4 singles from every album.
No, not then.
It's a proggy 20-second intro, then it turns into a nice Dennis ballad. But once the chorus hits, it rocks. You get a nice brief guitar solo and an outro solo as well, probably from JY. Then on side 2 of the vinyl, Midnight Ride. JY, like you said, written, sung, barely any keyboards on this. Very minimal keyboards on this song. This is a hard rock heavy metal song that features some fiery fretwork from JY on lead guitar since he wrote it. And the super high vocal harmonies in the chorus, John Kuralewski again. Mm-hmm. And for those who thinks that STYX can't rock, this proves them wrong. Moving on to my favorite deep cut on the record, little over 5 minutes. Born for Adventure. Another great song written by Dennis, JY, and JC. Dennis sings it. True hard rock gem in their catalog. Starts off with a great bass and drum combo by the twins. And Chuck's playing throughout this song is great. It's the highlight of the song, along with the interplay of guitar, JC's acoustics, and JY's sizzling six string. And John Panazzo also acquits himself quite well on the drums. Born for Adventure, excellent song.
Excellent, top notch.
Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it ends, well, there's a little prelude, JC, on it, what sounds like a 12-string.
Yeah.
12-string guitar. It's like 1 minute 20 seconds. It goes right into Sweet Madam Blue, 6.5 minutes. It's Prague. Dennis has a great vocal turn. His keyboards are phenomenal. Everyone shines on this song. And one would say it might be the crowning achievement in the whole STYX catalog.
Up to this point, I say it probably is. You know?
Sorry,
Ernesto, Davey's sick.
I
You
didn't
missed
want to
it because you were
cancel.
late. We've already been over this.
I canceled in December, so I'm powering my way through this episode.
He'll make it. He'll make it to the end. If you're going to rate this out of 10, well, if you're going to rate this, how would you rate this in terms of where it fits in with the Wood and Nickel period, like all the ones we've already looked at?
My
Is this
favorite,
the best thing? Is this the best record? Was it one of the Wood and Nickel records better than this? I'm just curious.
No, I like STYX 2 a lot, but Equinox is better.
I'm going to agree with you there.
Now, Lonely Child maybe isn't the best Dennis song, and Light Up is good. I don't think it's a great song.
I like
So I'm
it.
going to give this a 9.25.
All right, everybody. Let's get. I know a lot of people. We're going to take, like we always do. Give me a second. Wait a minute. Where did everybody go? Hold on, everybody. A lot of smoke and mirrors. Now, before you start giving me numbers, let me get this up because we're gonna see what everybody thinks. Okay.
Hi, Webb.
All right. So, Davey, what would you give this out of 10?
9.25.
9.25. Okay. We've got Webb's going to give it an 8.5. We got Tyler's going to go 9 out of 10. Holy shit, we're going to do good on this. 9 out of 10. Louder Than Life would give it a solid 8. Sydney's going to go 9.5. My
Wow.
God, man.
Sydney, holy cow.
Oh, Louder, you're going to go with a 9? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, going with the 9. Gary Joyce, 8.5. Okay. Davey Rock. Ken White's going with a 9. Man, you guys like this record. Oop, I messed up. I put a 5 on there. No. Okay. 9. There it is. Okay. Ken's a 9. Byron's a 9. Wow. I am blown away that you guys like this so much. Josh is going with a 9.5. Bengal Gangsters 8.5. Wow. Marlon's going 8.75. Wow. Okay. All right. Accounting with Grant. Hey, we're all in this together. So I'm going to go, because, Grand Illusion is definitely a 10. Is this as good as Grand Illusion? Is this as good as Pieces of 8? I'm going to go with an 8.5. It's damn good. I'll give you that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's reveal what we've got. Holy mackerel, that adds up to an 8.84.
Just about a 9.
Just about a 9. I don't think we can complain about that. I think that's pretty good. Based on everybody and Davey and myself, I think we can honestly recommend this record. I'm not sure we've ever had a record come through that high.
Not in the STYX series, no.
Not in the STYX series or anything else I've done, I don't think.
Ooh.
Pretty great. All right, cool. Let's move on. All right. Okay. Now wait. Don't give me any ratings yet until we get through this. So, but I will ask you for some.
Grant, what's your
Yes.
favorite song from the record or favorite couple of songs from Equinox?
Oh, my favorite songs are Sweet Madam Blue and Where's My Notes. I would go with Sweet Madam Blue, Midnight Ride, Mother Dear, and Light Up.
Okay. And I'm going to pick Sweet
I
Madam...
like the whole album, so...
So do I. I'm going to pick Sweet Madam Blue, Born for Adventure, and Mother Dear.
Yeah, I like I like the whole thing.
Just that bass line, Chuck's bass line, awesome on that. So
Davey's all about the bass, kids. If you haven't noticed. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next record. We're going to go with Crystal Ball. Came out October 1st of 1976. Sixth studio album. John Kuralewski's out. Tommy Shaw's in, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, one of the best STYX songs ever, Crystal Ball. Tommy brought over with him. So we talked about this last record kind of be a transitional album between the A&M and Wooden Nickel period. Now we've got this, which is now yet another transitional album, I'd say. Because as a record, I know Marlon wasn't a big fan of it. I love the record, me personally. But where is mine? There it is. Let me look. Marlon thought, what did he say? Now on to the stinker. I don't think it's a stinker, Marlon. I think it's a great record. Anyway, I'm looking at the notes here. Well, I do have to admit, I do think it's a bit of a transition record. I like the songs, though. Davey, go ahead. Give us some thoughts on this record. What's your thoughts on it?
It's their second A&M record, once again produced by STYX and recorded at Paragon Studios in Chicago, just like the previous record.
Yeah.
And both records are under 35 minutes. So they're short albums back in the day. Same lineup, except Shaw is in, Kuralewski is out. Once again, Barry Mraz is the engineer, along with Rob Kingsland. Hit number 66 in America. Certified gold, 500,000 copies sold November of 78. Canada hit 21. Certified gold, 50,000 copies. 3 singles from this record. Mademoiselle, backed with Lonely Child from the previous record, reached 36 on Billboard in America Christmas Day of 1976.
There you go.
Canada hit 25 January 22nd of 77. Then the second single, Jennifer, backed with Shoes, did not chart. Third single, Crystal Ball, coupled with Put Me On as the B-side, did not chart again. And it's become a perennial fan favorite. And all the single edits of these songs were about 3.5 minutes each. So they were still chopping out parts of intros, endings, the guitar solos to get played on the radio. And it only worked with Mademoiselle.
Oh, change the cover, Grant. I'm not paying attention. Jesus. You think this is my first show.
So I'm going to
Thanks,
start
Gary
with...
Joyce. God, I'm a mess. I've been a mess all week. What's the STYX cannot do blues? Come on, Marlon.
We're going to get to it.
We're going to get to it. Keep
the
going,
first
Davey.
track on the record, coming in a hair under 5 minutes, written by J.Y., DDY, and Tommy Shaw, Put Me On.
Great.
Dennis, actually J.Y. and Dennis both sing this song, but J.Y. sings lead vocals and Dennis takes the middle 8 section. It's a proggy 50-second intro that leads into all 3 guys singing the chorus in unison. And J.Y. takes the lead vocal after a stately synth line from Dennis. Synths and guitars duel throughout this song until J.Y.'s lead guitar at the 2.5-minute mark. After that solo, it leads into the tranquil middle 8, 3-minute mark, where Dennis takes over on lead vocals. And you hear Tommy Shaw for the first time singing the Drift Away section. That's the first time you hear his voice on its own on a STYX record. About 4:15 into the track, the guitars and synths kick back in, and they have this duel until the crescendo at the end. The last few seconds are sped up in the left channel, and it bleeds right into the second track. Mademoiselle, I think Put Me On is a really good opening because it rocks. And then it has that tranquil, mellow Dennis part, and he's saying, hey, I'm here, remember me from the last album? I'm still singing lead on part of this track.
Crystal Ball's Marlon says Crystal Ball's the best song. Well, it is the best song. But Put Me On, Davey, I want to mention this. When I listen to that, it sounds like to me that they feel revitalized. They get Tommy, you get a new member like Tommy Shaw. Holy crap, who can do everything.
Talented guy. Super
Talented. I'm
talented.
sure he recharged the band and Put Me On just sounds like a band who's all recharged, you know?
I love that proggy intro with the keyboards and the guitars.
Yeah, 100%.
Great intro to the song. And then we go into Mademoiselle, which was the first single. I said the chart history on it. Written by Dennis and Tommy Tommy sings lead on this one. It's a catchy earworm of a song with a strident guitar line from Tommy. Excellent vocals on here, unlike mine today.
Well,
Great harmony vocals from Dennis and JY. You get a short Tommy Shaw guitar solo, which is icing on the cake with those great harmony vocals. And you hear Chuck popping through on the bass throughout the song. So I like this song. It's a really good song. And
I love it.
And it's a hard song to sing. I've tried singing along, and Tommy Shaw's voice is excellent on this song. Just the way he goes up and down on it. Great lead vocal on here. I can't stress that.
Yep.
Then we go into not my favorite Dennis song. Song called Jennifer, a little over 4 minutes. He wrote it. He sings it. No chart action, like I said. And John Panazzo has some nice touches on the drums and the china during the choruses. Tommy takes a brief solo, and JY takes the long solo at the ending. It ends with an extended instrumental calming breakdown. Maybe it's the fact that the way he's singing about a girl who's 17, maybe that's why it does part of what doesn't sit right with me.
This is 1976.
And I mean, Kiss had Christine 16. Later on, Winger had 17, but it's a little
you couldn't
off.
do that now. That's a different time period.
Exactly, but it's just not my favorite song. I think it's on the lower tier of Dennis the Young tracks. What do you think about Jennifer?
I don't mind Jennifer, but it's not one of the standout. It's the weakest thing on side one.
Maybe the whole album.
Well, no, I like side one better than side two. I don't know. We'll get there. It's fine. It does. I don't skip it when I listen to it. But I think it's one of Dennis's weaker songs. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, you want to take lead on the next song because it's one of your favorites?
Well, Cristobal's my
title track.
The title track. We get Tommy Shaw coming in just playing acoustic guitar, and his vocal is just perfection. This has always been like one of my favorite STYX songs. And I mentioned this on another show where if you can go out and listen to like a demo of this track, I don't know where it came from, but if you listen to it, it's got an extra verse in here that they eliminated.
The third verse,
The third verse. So go check that on YouTube. It's out there. Perfection. It rocks. It's acoustic. The second half of the track, Tommy Shaw just sings the hell out of it. And the guitars are blaring. What more could I want? And Tommy just sounds brilliant. Tommy's one of my favorite lead vocalists ever, and I think his work on this record just totally proves that. It's a perfect song.
And we did a Tommy Shaw show on your channel the first time I was on your channel almost a year ago, and I think that was your number one song by him.
So, Josh, you don't like... Wait a minute. You don't like Jennifer? Or Cristobal? Cristobal. I don't think these songs are very good except the title track. Well, we all hear this stuff differently. When we do our rating at the end, we'll see where everybody stands. Rock show. Jennifer rules. All right.
That's my friend Joey from Rock Show.
Okay,
Critique.
Josh
Joey?
doesn't like Jennifer. Okay, sorry. I had to get caught up. I just want to make sure I knew what you're talking about. I disagree. Jennifer is not pretty. Man. All right. Marlon, I appreciate your honesty. Not the biggest STYX fan, but I'll probably have to check out Grant and Davey. All right, check it out.
Hey, Brent.
I don't really have an issue with this record. Because it's Tommy Shaw, and I don't have a... Tommy Shaw, if you took away all the other songs, God, how would it stand up by without Tommy Shaw on here? Good, that'd be a good question. Josh loves Crystal Ball. Okay. Anyway, Crystal Ball's perfection. One of my all-time. It's in my top 5 STYX songs. Let's just leave it at that. All right.
Yep. And just to add a bit to it, I wrote down that for the end of the song, at 3:39 into it, Tommy picks up the electric guitar and plays a very melodic solo as the song slowly fades out. And then my last 3 words, it says a Grant fave, because I remember
100%.
how much you love this song.
Freaking love it.
So it is an excellent song. And to a lot of people, it's the highlight of the record. I have a different highlight, but we're going to get to that.
Okay.
Let's move on to side 2. And this starts out with a rare Tommy Shaw, James Young co-write. And Tommy Shaw sings this, and it starts off with some finger picking, I wrote down chicken picking electric guitar, and I think what sounds like finger snaps.
There are finger snaps.
And then it turns into this hard rock, southern boogie rock song with some stinging slide guitar work from Tommy Shaw in this song. He has a great lead vocal on here.
Yep.
And it's like a bluesy southern rocker. No keyboards on this song. Dennis is singing some harmony vocals, but he doesn't play on this song at all. So it's all guitar, good old-fashioned rave up. For anyone who thinks that STYX is a wimp rock band, and there are many who do, because I used to get teased at school back in the late 70s and early 80s for loving STYX. And this song friggin' rocks, and that's all I'm going to say on it. Shoes is a great rocker, just under the 5-minute mark. What do you think of Shoes?
I love Shoes. It's one of my favorites on the whole album. I mean, what was it? Marlon said that. Here he goes. Shh. Shoes, blues, blows. I like it. Yes, Josh,
So do
100%. STYX bringing on the boogie. I agree with you 100%. I think it's great. I love Tommy's vocals. It's Tommy Shaw. I love it. So
it's a different side to him and the band.
exactly. I guess my critique of this album is it just seems to be a lot more all over the place as opposed to Equinox, which I think Equinox is a lot more focused. And I think this is just the record. They got Tommy Shaw in the band, and he brought in some songs. You know, he didn't. I guess the only thing he really brought in was Crystal Ball, and everything else were co-writes. I think he's just trying to find his place in the band, which he did in Grand Illusion. And yeah, it's a little bit all over the place, but I think once they got it figured out, it's good. It doesn't make this a bad album. It just doesn't make this album very focused. Okay, let me put it like this, Davey. I think that this album is better by the individual tracks than them all together. I think you could just, Crystal Ball stands on its own, Shoes stands on its own, Put Me On stands on its own, Mademoiselle, This Old Man, but you put it all together, it just seems like it doesn't kind of like jive correctly. That's what I really mean.
Because Dennis was in control of the previous record, and here they let Tommy have his say.
Well, yeah,
JY
but
for
he's
years.
not really in control. I don't know. I don't think there's anyone really in control here. I don't hear that.
It's more of a band effort.
I hear that. Yeah.
Let the new guy have his say. So
Look,
next,
Marlon says you're starting to come around now. Well, I'm interpreting what you're trying to tell me, Marlon. You're just saying that it doesn't fit so well as a record. But song-wise, I don't have a lot of problem with the songs. All right. We're just talking music. Keep going, Davey. I'm sorry.
Next, we move on to This Old Man, a little over 5 minutes, written and sung by Mr. Dennis DeYoung. JY on lead guitar as the song opens. You hear Dennis on the organ, low in the background, and then it breaks into this mellow verse with Tommy on acoustic guitar. Dennis is singing. John Panazzo has some nice drum work on the song, and Chuck pops through on the bass at the 2-minute mark. Sounds really good. Halfway through the song, there's this proggy middle section interlude, but I think it's ruined by Dennis's breathing.
Oh, God. Davey, did you have to say that? Now I'm going to hear it every time I play it.
Just he has this loud breathing, and it annoys me slightly.
Okay.
Once again, I think this is not a sterling Dennis DeYoung song. It's good. It's not horrible, but it's not top tier for him. Then you get guitars from both JY and Tommy. Dennis is on organ again. And it's almost a slight nod or throwback, I thought, to Jonas Salter from The Serpent is Rising.
Look exactly what Louder Than Life says. This old man sounds distinctly Wooden Nickel era.
And that's what I have in my notes.
I agree 100%. See, it's kind of like, where are we going? You know, you've got a little bit of overlap from what came before. And I think it causes it to sound a little bit more haphazard. Oh my God, Davey, you and Louder Than Life, that nailed it 100%. It distinctly sounds Wooden Nickel. I never really thought about it, but yes. Well, Sydney loves it. I'm not saying it's bad, but it would fit.
Wow.
It would fit on Man of Miracles. You wouldn't even blink.
Or Serpent.
Or Serpent. You wouldn't blink. You're 100% right. God dang. You guys
and then
are
I
brilliant.
ended up with the last thing I wrote is a good Dennis song, not a great one.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it's totally. You are 100% right. It sounds Wood Nickel. All right.
And then we move on to my personal favorite song from the record after the brief piano interlude where Dennis DeYoung is covering Claude Debussy. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, because sometimes I mispronounce names. And it's Claire de Lune for about a little over a minute, and then you get the 6-minute proggy epic Ballerina, co-written by Dennis and Tommy. 6-minute song. It starts out with Dennis on the solo piano. And I wrote down that this is one of my favorite deep cuts in the STYX catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck has some understated bass playing, and I love Tommy's melodic guitar in the middle 8 section as JY takes the lead axe spot. For the extended coda, you get JY and Tommy battling back and forth on guitars during the La La section. And it once again proves that STYX are a hard rock band because you get those lead electric guitar trade-offs between JY and Tommy.
Yeah.
So I think this ends the album really well. I love Ballerina. It's a song that they only did on this tour, I think. And you can find the live version on YouTube. No video, just audio. Maybe it doesn't translate as well live, but I just love the studio version. So that's my favorite song on the record, Ballerina.
I know Pete Pardo digs that song.
Nice. He's got great
never
taste.
really got, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I never really got into that song so much. I don't know why. I was much more into Crystal Ball and Put Me On and Mademoiselle and the Ballerina Claire de Lune just seems kind of like, it almost seems Wooden Nickel to me as well. It's like the half of side two is like Wooden Nickel stuff. I don't know. It just seems Wooden Nickel to me too. And nothing wrong with the Wooden Nickel stuff, but I never really thought about it until today. So Surfing is Rising. Yeah. Side one, Josh says side one's definitely better. Look at this. Webb is praising your analysis.
Thank you, Webb.
All right. So what are we going to rate this? If Davey, what would you give this record? Well, do you have anything else to add before we... Now, wait in the chat. Hold on. Don't give me any numbers yet. Anything else you want to add about Crystal Ball before we go on?
That's everything. I just love my
right,
BGO twofer.
Look at that. I don't have that. I just have the A&M when it came out. 89, 87. I think 87 Crystal Ball came out on CD and Equinox. They came out together in 87.
So here you get the back cover right under the CD tray.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the back cover of Crystal Ball is the back of the CD. And they're so short, they fit on one CD. It's great. Sounds really good in the car. I've been cranking this all week going to and from work.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're a professional. You like to rock. All right. So, Davey. Uh-oh.
I'm ready.
Wait a minute. We got a comment from Rand Kelly. I just want to say that Mother Dear blew my mind, and I thought, oh, my God, this is the best Yes song Yes never wrote. He has mentioned that before.
I would say Star Castle, Lady of the Lake, is the best Yes song that Yes never wrote. But that's just my opinion.
That could be. Look, wait, yes, everyone, Rand in the house. Let's just take a moment.
Hi, Rand.
And say hello to Rand.
The
Rand's very
Randy Man's
popular.
here.
Oh, here we go. Trucker, Equinox 9.5, Crystal Ball 8.75. Well, there's our first score.
Trucker, those are my ratings exactly.
So you're going to go with an 8.75 on Crystal Ball?
Yes,
Okay.
I like it, but not as much as Equinox, but more than the 8.5, I think I gave to STYX too.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Gary Joyce, we got a 7.75. We've got a 7.75 from Webb. All right. Slogan. Ooh, 10 isn't high enough. I guess Logan's Slogan, whoever you are.
Sydney.
I know. When you combine Logan and Slogan, it sounds like they're
Taxi.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It just seems odd. All right. 8.5 from Tyler. All right. Louder Than Life. Oh, my goodness. A 5.0.
Oh.
That's going to bring us down. All right. But we got to be honest. Tex is going to go. Okay. Equinox 7.5. Crystal Ball at 8. Okay. All right, Josh, we've got 8.5. All right, what else we got? Zappa, 7.75. All right. Ken White is coming in with the 7.5. Seems to be a lot of 7.5. Rock Show Critique, 8.0, ladies and gentlemen.
Joey.
Rand Anthony Kelly, not to get confused with the Rand Kelly. He's going to give Crystal Ball an 8, Equinox a 9. Okay. BM Bolt. Well, good point. 7.75. Oh, God, helps if I, what did I do? 8.0. Oh, 8. 7.75. Okay. Marlon's going with a 6.25. Huh. I thought he would rate it a lot lower. All right. Anybody else have anything? Can Louder Than Life... Oh. Sydney, can Louder Than Life be kicked for a 7.5? Just kidding. Can't like everything. I just want to get what... All we're doing together as a collective unit is trying to turn people onto these records. So when everybody gives their rating, that's wonderful because we can hopefully turn people on or turn people away. It just depends on how it goes. I never saw STYX play Mother Dear after 4 or 5 times. Has anyone ever seen that song live?
I don't think they ever did it.
I don't think they ever did it because Kuralewski was out. He
wasn't on the tour.
He wasn't on the tour, Rand, and they probably went, he left. We're not playing that. Dear, excellent. All right. So how long have we been going? 43 minutes. That's good. All right. So let's calculate. I've got everybody's numbers, and we come up. Oh, I didn't rate it. I'm going to give it, Tommy Shaw's on here. It's not Grand Illusion quality. I think it's as good. I'm going to go with 8.5. I'm happy with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Webb, brace yourselves. Here we go. Oh,
thanks, Webb.
Well, actually, it didn't do as bad as I thought. It came up with a 7.91.
It's better than I thought.
Better than I thought. So, is it as good as Equinox? No. But I wouldn't throw it out. I would never get rid of it. I like it. No. I think a Jennifer broke Louder Than Life's heart when he was young and made him a lonely child. Doon. Sydney will be here all week. Voice typing not reliable. Well, yeah. Crystal Ball was the album older kids played at the house parties you were lucky to be invited to in the 70s. Too high. Marlon, I can't. The public has spoken. You gave it a 6.26?
2.5.
A 2.5? Come on. See the usual subjects in the morning. All right, I don't have nothing to add. Davey, what's coming up on your show? What's going on? on your channel?
Well, I just did a review of the new Dream Theater album, Parasomnia, so that's my most recent video. Next week, I'm going to be on Curlis Mania, Tom Curlis's channel. We're going to go back to our Cars series, and I'm filming a show with the great Peter Kerr from Rock Daydream Nation next
Never
week.
heard of him. Never heard of him.
That should be up in early March on my channel, late February, early March. So that's coming up, and we're going to tackle an Australian band, and that's all I'm saying at this moment.
Keep just. Shh.
Is it Midnight Oil?
I don't know.
Is it AC/DC?
Is it In Excess?
The Bee Gees, maybe? They're from Australia.
Men at Work?
Ice House, maybe? Ooh, there's a lot of choices here.
Yeah.
Which way are we going to go? But tune in to Cretin Classics late February, early March to see Peter Kerr on the channel.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't subscribed to Mr. Cretin's channel, please do so.
Thanks, Grant.
Men at Work.
And thanks for having me on.
Why would you tackle them, Davey? That seems like an assault. Yeah, Dave, don't tack. We're nonviolent. Well, of course, it's always fun. We will be back probably, what is next month? In
March.
March already. God, time's just zipping by. I'll be dead before I know it. And we will be back with Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight. Oh, yeah. Which, how are we going to bitch about that? But we'll do that live because I like this format when we're doing these type of series. Is it going to be Skyhooks?
Oh, another good one.
No.
That's a real deep cut.
Wolf Mother? Screaming Jets?
I like that first album.
Rose Tattoo? Come on, tell us what it's going to be.
No, it's a secret.
All right, cool.
And thanks for having me on, Grant.
Of course, it was fun.
Thanks for bearing with me with my voice. I think it's
no
a little
big
better now, but
you sound better since you've been talking.
Goes in and out.
All right, so please subscribe to Grant's Rock Warehouse if you haven't. What's next? There's a whole bunch of stuff. We did this will make Marlon jump off a building, but we did top 10 of Kenny Loggins songs that I need to get put up.
Ooh. I want to check out the King's X show you did earlier.
We just did it
Rand.
with Rand. Tomorrow we do have the Contrarians live chat. I forget what we're talking about because I haven't started working on it yet. But we will be live at 7 o'clock. And there was going to be a kink show. Schnee and I are going to be doing the kinks, but I'm moving that a week because I'm kind of burned out. Kind of, a little bit. But probably next week we'll be back with the Kinks RCA era. So let's tune in to that. All right. Other than that, we'll see you. Davey, have a good one. I hope you feel better. And I want to extend a thanks to everybody in the chat for keeping this interactive. Hopefully we can turn on some people to these two STYX albums. All right. Till next time, we will see you.
Take care.